A pleasant Tuesday morning to you. Welcome once again to the Bridge 99 FM and Untengle on the Bridge 99 FM. yes, I'm telling you, a cake, and it's all right. You get the job done, though. You don't worry about when last you see somebody's handwriting. You know. Look here, it is very endearing, just in case you didn't know. It's endearing. When somebody writes you a note, it's so personal. More than when somebody send off a WhatsApp to, I mean, come on. They're laughing at my handwriting. Fossil. That's a fossil. Ah, well. So thank you very much for being a part of Untengle on the Bridge. I want to say a very special morning to the Untengle team Untengle morning. And we're just about ready to have our interview with Londoncookss. We're going to be finding out more about Londoncookss in a few. We're ready? Okay, so good morning, Tiffany.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm doing great. And how are you?
I'm very well, thanks. So we're looking forward to this interview. I know I warned my listeners that this interview might just make us hungry, but not to worry. Is there anything that we can them off on the internet, visually, virtually, however, Holly, instead of you just eat it in a one plate? Tell me the
Oh
truth.
my God. I'm so sorry that, I always have to put you guys through that. But promise, I'm working on a way, so I can have everyone taste things and it's not virtually.
But so you're not going to WhatsApp the food.
Trust me, I would if I could.
I know you would. So first of all, welcome to the Bridge 99 FM. And you're presently in Georgia as we speak, right?
Yes, I am.
But you are Jamaican.
Yes, born and bred.
Wonderful. All right. Tell us a little bit about the breeding, because I know I was reading your bio and I love how you were raised, and I think there's an interesting story. You talk a lot about your grandmother, but just tell us generally about how you were raised.
So I was born and raised in Meadowbrook, Jamaica, Kingston 19. I grew up mainly with grandma on mommy's side. Of course, mommy was living in the house too, but my grandma, Miss V, big up yourself wherever you are. She is very big on cooking. My grandmother could just mix anything whatsoever and it tastes so good. My grandmother, I truly feel like is responsible for me knowing that, you can mix almost any type of flavor and it tastes really good. Or you can also mix the same seasons you use every single day that you probably might consider to be a boring meal into something exciting. So grandma was always in the kitchen and I was always there behind her trying to learn to bake or to cook something. She's always downtown and things of that nature. And so it was from there that I actually discovered my passion for cooking.
When you say she was always downtown, what do you mean, market?
Yes, man, she's a market lady.
I
Don't get
hear
her from
you.
our market.
Yeah,
Yes,
man. She have to buy her seasoning and all these things at market.
ma'am.
All right. And you were always encouraged, or I don't know if you were forced into the kitchen, but I know you were encouraged into the kitchen.
Yes, I was. I wasn't forced. It's a passion of mine, and I honestly think that it's like therapy. When I'm cooking, I don't think anything matters to me in this world.
I love that. All right. We don't want to finish with grandma yet, but last thing about grandma. Tell me one of your grandmother's favorite recipes and favorite ones for you.
Well, I just posted banana fritters this morning, which I have to credit that recipe to my grandmother, but I think she makes the best stew peas. Woo! Yes, I think she makes the best stew peas for sure.
Okay.
I tell her with a pigtail, my grandmother can fix you up.
Okay, I love how she have ital already picked here.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, right, because yeah, all right. So how did you realize that you not only just love to cook, but you actually can cook? At what stage in your development you realize that?
So I think I realized that at a very young and tender age, to be honest with you. So I have been living in the US, I would say maybe for about 15 years. I have been living here. And naturally, when any immigrant comes to the US, you're here for the opportunities and things of that nature. So when I came here to the US, I decided that, okay, healthcare is where, the money is at. I need to get by and things of that nature. So I had kind of sort of stray away from cooking, but at a very, very young and tender age, I've discovered that I love to cook. As my bio stated on my website, the very first thing I discovered to cook was curry potatoes. And then from that, I also have experience in cooking at restaurants in Jamaica. So, for example, I used to work at The Spot. It's a restaurant called The Spot at UE. Not sure if they're still open to this day, but I must say thank you to them for some of my experiences. I came to the US also. After I went into the healthcare thing, I stepped back out of it a little bit, go back into cooking. I have some culinary experience here also, where I have worked in French restaurants, Jamaican restaurants, American restaurants, you name it.
Okay, great. I love that mix because, it's one thing to really showcase Jamaican cuisine. But as a chef or a cook, I'm going to ask you which you prefer. It's good to actually create your own recipes because that's what grandma was doing while you could actually love her cooking. What should we call you, a chef or a cook?
I wouldn't say a chef. I know that chefs are a little bit sensitive to their things, so I don't want to be called a chef simply because I did not go to school to learn how to cook. I picked up the knowledge by myself. So I think it's fair to call me a cook. I'm fine with that.
Cook is good for us because as long as you can cook, we're
I've
good with
held
that.
chef positions, but I'm good with the cook because I know how sensitive chefs can be with them titles. So,
I
you
hear
know,
you, but a lot of the
yeah.
chefs, our side, don't seem to know that because we just called somebody who can cook good chef anyway. So your experiences is both with is with Jamaican foods, with French food, with American food, and that kind of thing. Have you come up with your own recipes from your vast experience?
Totally, absolutely. So I do currently have three e-cookbooks out at this time. They're electronic cookbooks. You can find those for purchase at my website, Londoncookss.com. I would definitely say that maybe about 98% of those recipes were made up. And when I say made up, I mean like everybody naturally have some sort of influence, So there were some recipes that were influenced either by things that I was inspired about on TV or in different cuisines, but everything definitely is made up. I like to sit down, think about things that sound like it will taste good and just put them together, go in the kitchen, experiment. And that's how I come up with my recipes.
Okay, great. I'm going to quote you because especially where you are now, I don't want to take liberty with the people that are foreign, but in the same way that we were, our parents insisted that we can cook because no man no want a woman we can cook. At that part, we know what I talk about. But they did say that. It's not so much in the space that you're in here now. So let me ask you this for those who can cook or for those who don't like to cook. I'm going to quote you. It says cooking is trial and error. If you mess up on the first try, then try again. So I'm assuming that a lot of your recipes were created from the same trial and error. Let's talk about that.
Yes, for sure. I have so many recipes that has been unreleased, waste money with groceries, or I'm just not comfortable with the quality. But cooking is trial and error. You have to mess up. It's just like any type of life lessons. You have to mess up in order to learn something. You have to go in the kitchen and burn a pot of rice or make it come out plaka plaka just to learn that, okay, next time turn down my fire or next time use less liquid. So I do suggest that, anybody pay attention to wherever you mess up and try to improve. And I will definitely say it's the same thing with my recipes. I play around with them. I know everyone have different tastes, but me personally, when I taste them, sometimes it's like, no, this is not really that hot. So I usually do have a long list of recipes, and whichever one makes the cut, whichever one don't make the cut, that's how I do it.
Oh Lord! So my Untengle team is tempting me, whetting my appetite. Is that callaloo rice?
Yes, it is.
Oh my goodness, that is so nice. So is callaloo rice or is it seasoned rice? Which is it? Callaloo rice?
I would say seasoned rice. The reason for that, my mother makes the best seasoned rice. Big up to yourself, mommy. She makes the best seasoned rice. And growing up, I know that seasoned rice have ackee, saltfish, cabbage, things of that nature. So I would definitely say that that is a kalaloo rice or spinning
Yeah,
rice.
right. And can I say something to for those watching? Oh my goodness, for those of us who understand exactly that part. You see that calendar rice something there? You when you're on a budget, let us put it that way. When you're there on a budget and you have little bit of that left over, little bit of that leave over, and you put the whole of them together, you just call it what you want to call it.
Of course, I agree.
So is that seasoned rice in any of your books?
Well, I am currently working on a physical cookbook with the request of my cooking friends. I understand that not everybody likes the electronic side of things. So I am currently working on a physical cookbook that will contain classical Jamaican recipes, rice and peas from scratch, the coconut milk and things of those nature. And I'm working on it to make the recipes as simple as possible because I know something that people like to say is that Jamaican cuisine is so difficult and it take long or just something about it. So yes, I am working on a physical cookbook that will contain mainly classical Jamaican recipes, and seasoned rice is one of those recipes.
Okay, great. You mentioned rice and peas. And, granny cooking never sweet because the coconut milk did come out of one tin. Are you cooking with tin now that you're young and don't have all these, instant gratification? What you cook with? Tell me the truth. You cook with
I'm
tin.
going to be 1000% honest. I'm not going to
Please.
lie, like things to look on social media, but I'm definitely in between. So I do have two toddlers. I have a 4 and a 6-year old, and it's not always very easy. So some Sundays it's way easier to just cook the peas from scratch and just throw in a can of coconut milk, but I prefer it with the most natural thing. And coconut milk really don't take that long to. It really
Right.
don't take that
I
long
get
to.
you. And thanks for your honesty because a lot of people are in the same position as you are, just having a busy day, a busy Sunday, busy days, children and whatever, studies, whatever. And it is very difficult to sit down over some coconut husk it and then grate it. Why? But it's still nice though. All right, so let's talk. Let's talk about Londoncookss. How you came up with the name and what's who conceptualized the format of the business.
So I'm going to be 1000% honest with you. I've always liked the name London to the point where I've always prayed for a daughter and God gave me two sons. I always I would want to name my daughter London. She never come. So me still run with the name. I've had many different businesses before this where I've incorporated the name London. So I just always kept the name London and cooks, to make things a bit obvious because I thought it was a bit cute. At first, I started out during the pandemic, I think like most other cooking pages, very early. I was really only just posting my family meals just to keep myself busy. And it was a form of therapy for me. I was home, I had nothing to do. And I like to eat with my eyes first. So,
Yes.
no lie, you guys, however I cook on social media, that's how I eat on a daily. I don't know if something is
Yes.
wrong with me, but that's just how I like to eat my food pretty. So I think the prettiness of my food, of course, because we eat with our eyes first, it started catching people. My following started growing from there. From there, people started demanding recipes, tutorials, how to do this, how to do that. And of course, the following, it started really getting crazy. So I thought to myself that, okay, a way how, I can just keep everything fine tuned somewhat is to either go into YouTube or a website. So the first thing I did was to try YouTube. I'm not very active on there at this time like I would like to due to a busy schedule, but I'm more active on the blog where we do post recipes. So that's how Londoncookss really came about, was really from the request of people, the influence of my cooking friends, like I like to call them. And I think just like, anyone else, certain things start growing. So you have to start changing up things, fine tuning things. I'm very big on quality. So I started changing up the profile, changing up certain things. From there, people just kept having all types of requests. And I would honestly say that it really just came from the ideas of the cooking friends based off of their request.
Wonderful. Okay, so you have a YouTube channel. Have you ever done a research, formally or otherwise, about the demographic of your subscribers?
I don't pay attention to my demographics a lot, but I have seen it quite a few times. And I must say that, of course, I have a lot of my Jamaican family behind me from Jamaica. But I see that it's mainly young people, people from New York. I used to live in New York, and when I put on the YouTube voice, I have a New York accent. So I don't know if that catch them too. Yeah. Yes.
Sajay, could you stop? No, them just having a ball watching me watch them nice food there. I can't get none. Them wicked, you see. Okay, so most people are Jamaicans and most of young people.
Yes.
All right, fine. I would understand that. And for someone who wants to be a subscriber or just want to watch your channel, how do we go about that?
So I am on YouTube. It's London like the city, London Cooks, ending with 2S, COOKSS.
And that's it. They just type that in and up you come.
Yes, and the channel will come up with all my recipes. Yes.
Oh, wonderful. All right. Go ahead. No.
No, Sachi wanted one of the physical copies.
Oh, physical copies of the book. So the Untengle team here, them is very craven. So they can't just stomach to just say that alone on the monitor. They want to know how they can get your books. And all our listeners want to know that.
Sure. So you can find all 3 of my e-cookbooks on my website. It's spelled just the same, London like the city, LondonCookss.com.
Okay, fine. As we're here talking, and you mentioned a while ago that you eat first with your eyes, right? And we have been taught here in Jamaica. I don't know if it happens over the world, but I know that I get a lick on my hand if I go smell my food, and me eat with my nose. Me want to smell when I eat. So, do you think it is still taboo to smell your food? Yes, really. Yes, me asking that question, really. Yes. yes.
Mm-hmm. I am definitely working on a way. I have worked in many restaurants before, so I know that owning a restaurant is no walk in the park, financially and physically. But I'm definitely working on a way to stop, putting you guys through this. I am so sorry. And trust me, I want you guys to taste it too, because I like when people taste my food and tell me it tastes good.
Right.
And it don't just pretty. It tastes good.
Good. I believe you. I'm still trying to work out how to me can't even say it. Me can't even say it in peace. For smell my food. Sure. Because based on what I smell, I will know if not passing my throat, I can know that immediately. Based on what I see, yes. But based on what I smell. Anyway, let's move on because whatever. Last question now is, what would you say to someone who hates to cook, who think them can't cook, and who have someone who everybody hands gone up, and who have someone who insists that them learn to cook? What would you say to that person?
I will definitely say that home cooking, for several reasons, as someone who used to also work in a restaurant, trust me, it's way better than going out to these restaurants to eat. So us Jamaican and Caribbean people love to worry about if people wash their meat and what they wash the meat with and things of that nature. Trust me, the restaurants don't do it. So for medical reasons, I will definitely say that home cooking is definitely the way to go. Cooking is not always 1, 2, 3, but you have to mess up to learn how to cook.
Yes.
My only advice to that is look at where you mess up. And trust me, you probably might mess up like 4 or 5 times. But my advice is don't stop. For medical reasons, you need to cook at home.
Yes, I agree with you 100%. And can I say something, Tiffany, that I've experienced? The more you cook is the more you know how to cook.
Exactly. I agree.
So the longer you delay cooking is the longer you're going to be able to cook. So your another mantra of yours is heavy on homemade. And I agree with you 100% without dissing any restaurant, because I know that there are restaurants and there are restaurants. But somehow you can put all those little things that Gran usually go downtown, go buy. You can go buy it yourself and put it in a your food. You think the restaurant now go put all of them, there's something there in a your food, what?
I think, of course, they will definitely put these things in their foods. And I'm not bashing anybody's restaurant, because business is business. And I want everybody to make it, of course, and be comfortable. But I definitely do think that restaurants, or at least restaurants I've worked at, they have shortcut things.
Yes.
For sure. So that type of flavor that you're going to get at home, most importantly, the love that should
there
be
you
in
go.
your food, you most likely won't find it at a restaurant.
I'm so happy you mentioned the love, because we could not stop this interview without talking about cooking with love. Let us talk about cooking with love, because so that's where Granny I come from. Let's talk about that. Oh, you heard me, Tiffany?
Yes, I heard you.
What difference is there a tangible thing called cooking with love, and it tastes better when you cook with love?
I do think so, because in my opinion, I do think that cooking with love is not only what you put in the food, meaning the type of ingredients. And when I say type of ingredients, I'm talking about the quality, the different types. But I do also think the time that you will take to put into certain things. So for example, let's use oxtails as one example. Oxtail is something that it can take hours to cook, depending on how much you have and just how big the meat is, just different types of things. There are some restaurants that probably, will put your oxtail in a pressure cooker. And I've had pressure cooker oxtail. I used to pray off of pressure cooker oxtail. It was the best until I started slow cooking my oxtails and doing certain things while slow cooking the oxtails. So I think that love is definitely a wide variety of things that goes into your food for sure.
Yes, I agree with you. The producer just talked about patience, but I agree with you 100%. Because when you're cooking for a family, and it's a family that you love, you really put a lot into it, and it does make a difference. So, thank you so very much for being our guest. Now you've made us all hungry, all over the world, and I thank you. So...
Thank you guys so much for having me. Once again, I am so sorry, but thank you guys, and I hope you guys have a blessed day.
You too. You take care, and all the best with your books, all right? And your channel.
Thank you so much.
All right, fine. Okay, so that's Tiffany Daniel, otherwise known as Londoncookss. And it's a wonderful thing to talk about food. Don't make nobody fool you. Food is the stuff of life. And as a result of that, we have to talk about it. Good afternoon, Beauregard. You there?
Good afternoon, Mama Kelly. How are you?
I'm very well. How are you?
I'm doing great. Wonderful Tuesday afternoon. Today's my daughter's birthday.
Look here. Another Leo?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh
we'll book out the whole month.
Look here. Look here.
Yes.
Nobody redeem that, man. But can I tell you something?
Yes.
My Leo father, you don't beat my Leo father, in terms of rhythm, that is.
Okay.
Because I have a brother who born April the 15th, just like me, 3 years apart. And the second one dropped right now in October. And every time I say, Daddy, I don't go, look here. Don't go there,
Yeah, well.
So happy birthday to your daughter.
Yes, her name is Kelsey. She's 17 years old today, so.
Oh my goodness.
Happy birthday to her.
Happy birthday, Kelsey. Nice. She's another August born.
Yeah, man. We take over the whole month, Mama Kelly. we had to join in with Jamaica.
Yeah, that means just going to say, you are Jamaica.
and Mama Kelly, tomorrow, Marcus Garvey's birthday.
Yes, 17.
Yes.
That's
Yeah,
right.
man.
Yeah, man.
So the 135th birthday celebration for the Honorable Mosiah Marcus Garvey. Marcus Mosiah Garvey. And, it's going to be a big celebration all over the world.
Absolutely.
So many people follow the teachings of Marcus. And, they're looking forward to it.
Yeah, man. Wonderful.
Yeah, man. Lion them out.
Oh, thank God. Yeah, I always just, bow to that, Come me always say, if it's 1 month that can chat to me, only one set of people can even talk to me. And I delay them. Nobody else. You understand me? Me cure to that.
Thank you, Mama Kelly. Thank you so much. How was your weekend?
Excellent. What I did again? Oh.
I saw you catch me sometime too, Mama Kelly. By the time Monday come around, I say, what am I do Friday again?
I don't know. And so you have to make sure so you actually do something,
Yeah,
because you can't just fly away and do nothing. But I did. I did a lot of work on the house and that kind of, I'm busy like that. I don't know if you know, but I'm busy like that. Nice. So I got through quite a bit. I don't want to, go into the details of my house business, but at the end of the day, just because I got through quite a bit,
right,
and that make me feel wonderful.
That's good. You have flowers and plants and all them things around here, right, Mama Kelly?
Lord have mercy. Can I just tell you something? My friends came down the other day and they was trying to put them suitcase in the back of my car. And can I tell you, them buck up in a pure gravel and stone and plant. And I want this! So that tells you how much I have in the yard, right?
Wow.
Yeah, man. Love
True
it.
Indeed. My weekend almost got messed up, Mama Kelly. Just a little damper, to say the least. I had some technical difficulties with my laptop, and you know how that goes. That's our working equipment, so sometimes you get scared when you feel like something goes wrong, but it's something they have to charge to the game at this point, because we have no control over these things sometimes, and it does happen. But it's in good hands now. It's in a friend of mine is taking care of it, DJ Shorty.
He's fixing it?
Yes, he's taking care of the situation. So I'll be back in at 100% soon, and very soon. If I didn't have certain experience, I'd have said, then is a laptop mess up your weekend until me go lose my phone. Wow. That's a must-have, Mama Kelly. That's a must-have. You couldn't leave your house, Mama Kelly, and you go, no matter how far you go, you feel like you want to turn back for your phone. It's because that's like your life.
Yeah, of course. It's like sometimes when I'm coming to work in the mornings, right? There are 3 things that I must have in the car. I must have the music.
Gas.
4. I forgot about gas. I must have the music. I must have a serious thing, I forgot to put 4. I must have the music. I must have gas because I'm not going anywhere without it. And here what I must know. We have a basket, you see, we're full of food. That is a must for me. Okay? I must have my food. And I must have my food. If I don't have my phone, I might as well just turn back.
True indeed. Because nowadays we don't even memorize phone numbers and them things nowadays, no, Mama Kelly. We depend on the phone to, keep those contacts organized, and when we need them, it's just a press of a button. We don't really train ourselves nowadays to memorize numbers, and it's too many numbers to memorize. So we give thanks that we have these technology and we are able to use them.
So true. We're supposed to write music sheets, right? And I wrote up my music sheet and I handed the music sheet to the producer this morning. One will heap of laughing. Here where the big laughing for. Because me write. People don't see people handwriting again, them the days they don't,
True.
So you see, just because the producer saw my handwriting and I wrote, him go have to know what to do with it, But I put it in a writing, and it was one big joke inside of the studio how me write out the music sheet. So that is just to show how times have changed.
Yeah, because nowadays all we do is the text and we copy and paste and screenshot and send things. So it's a lot easier. I'm happy. I don't have any problem there. I saw somebody on a public phone the other day, Mama Kelly. That is so strange because nowadays.
You saw somebody on what?
On a public phone, just joking around. I didn't know any of those were left on the streets.
Neither me.
And I said, wow, look at that. Our kids would even know the agony where we used to go through when you go outside and need to use a phone, and you have to have the change, or if somebody's on the phone, you might have to stand up and wait. And all of them things. Nowadays they just pick up phone and use as they please. And
one of the worst experiences I've ever had on a payphone is right which part you did in New York there, It was in winter. And trust me, a man on the phone, and would the man come out of the phone booth and then him have one scarf on film face from him mouth right go over and me afraid
So
But then I said, Lord have mercy, this a man me know what didn't kill me. But at the end of the day, Me say, I stand up in the cold, I wait, but I'm warm in the boot, you know, man.
Yeah, man. Them thing they we used to go through, Mama Kelly.
Yeah,
trust
man.
me.
Go some
Trust me.
man.
But overall, my weekend was great, Mama Kelly. Other than the fact that I was unable to play at 2 events that I wanted to play at, I was supposed to work at. I attended the Family Fun Day, the Tri-State Family Fun Day here in New York City, which featured the Fab Five band, along with Mr. Stuart Morgan from the Blue Magic band, which is an R&B group out of Philadelphia. And trust me, I did not get to see at the time that I got to the Family Fun Day. It was a good turnout, very crowded. Shout outs to Mr. Conroy Allison and the Winner Circle family here at 93.5 FM. When I got there, it was a good vibe. I got there in the evening because of the laptop trouble, Mama Kelly, which is why I also got there late. So, I eventually got to the location and it was a good vibe. The families were out.
Nice.
People were having fun. There was, I missed the Fabulous Five performance, but Mr. Stuart Morgan was on stage, and trust me, he tore the place down.
Who's that?
He is from the Blue Magic band. I had a song that I wanted to play. I knew you were going to ask me that question, Mama Kelly. So I really and truly knew you were going to ask me that question. So I said, let me line up this song and have it and be prepared and ready when Mama Kelly asks me to.
Who is that?
Who is this person? Here's the song that I chose to play for you. It's called Sideshow, and I believe you know this song very, very well. But
Lights?
I'm gonna
Original?
play
Play it.
the
Yes,
original.
yes,
Here we
yes,
go.
yes. Make I tell you something. Back in my party days, remember me told you, if you can't dance this tune, you come out to the party.
Mama Kelly, me I tell you, I grew up hearing these songs,
Yeah,
but
right.
I have never seen it being performed, and the reaction from the Caribbean audiences,
Nice.
it was magic.
Yes,
truly
man.
magic.
Yeah, man. For those of us who grew up on these songs, somebody just wrote this quickly. Let me just say it quickly. But we got a teenage daughter. Him sound not much older than a teenager himself.
Thank you.
But she don't know that you have an older son. Anyway,
Yeah, man.
so that's that. Moving right along.
Yes,
so,
and
yeah.
also in New York was the Solid Love Tour, Singers in Action, which featured Barry Salmon and Third World. That was a success. It was all over the tri-state. On Friday it was in Connecticut. On Saturday it was in New Jersey, and then they finished off on Sunday here in New York at Coney Island Amphitheater. So it was a very good look all weekend. A lot of festivities, and all of them were successful.
Yeah, that sounds good. Tell us a little bit. This is not so good, but tell us a little bit about, first of all, Jaws Bridge, and then I don't know if you can tell us anything about the search for the 2 Jamaican brothers who went missing. One was found on Jaws Bridge. I don't know if you heard about that. Did you?
No, Mama Kelly, I have not heard that story yet.
Oh, well, it was so
to tell you the
sad.
truth.
It says that state police in Massachusetts this morning continued to search for missing Jamaicans. 21-year-old Tavon Bulgin, who is feared dead after he jumped off the infamous Jaws Bridge on Martha Vineyard Sunday night, and the body of Travon's 26-year-old brother was found at 6:20. And these are Jamaicans who, I think they're from Clarendon. They're the sons of a preacher in Clarendon, and
So that's all the story said. They jumped.
yes, it's a popular tourist attraction apparently, right? But it said that there are signs at the bridge that warn you not to jump, but people go there to jump. So it says the bridge was made famous because it was featured in Steven Spielberg's horror movie Jaws, which was largely famous. But the brothers who are from Clarendon, it says, are the sons of Reverend Keith Bulgin and his wife Jacqueline, and they were in the U.S. as part of a popular work and travel summer program, which sees hundreds of Jamaican university students working in that country every year. I can't even begin to imagine how traumatized the Reverend and his wife must be, because it says, according to the U.S. Coast Guard, it searched for the missing brothers. All of them jumped. They were there in a group, and apparently all of them in the group jumped, right? But the 2 brothers, they couldn't find them after a while, so the members of the group reported to the police that they can't find 2 of members of the group, and it was the 2 brothers, and they found one, and over the weekend they were looking for the other one, and It's just so sad.
Yes, very sad, Mama Kelly. Unfortunately, I did not hear about it. I'm going to look at the story now, and I'll be able to get a little bit more understanding of what took place.
Right. So
Yeah.
it wasn't suicidal or anything like that. It was really just it's supposed to be an attraction, but it keeps saying in the stories that there's a big sign that says don't jump, but people go there to jump.
And this was at midnight.
Yeah. So you can imagine how difficult that search was.
Wow.
They said state police spokesman said that the initial search lasted until 3:30 in the morning, and divers were then brought in for a search after sunrise. Tavares and Tavon played instruments in church and were said to be very involved in their father's ministry. It's just so sad. So our condolences going out to
The family.
yeah, the entire family.
Wow.
Sad. Yeah.
Very sad.
Okay, we're gonna take